Gino, he is the ambassador for Evenings Delight, South Florida's source for all your outdoor kitchen, grilling, and tailgate needs. They have a full line of grills, smokers, and more. Evenings Delight has 2 locations, Pinecrest and Davie. Traditions are better with Traeger and Evenings Delight. So you head over there, you grab a Traeger during the holiday sale, add wood-fired flavor to your festivities. From November 16th through December 24th, you can get up to $400 off select Traeger grills, also save on pellets, rubs, and more. Gino, what do you think about Billy Napier being back as the head coach at Florida next season?
Listen, I just assume I am on the emails from the Gator Nation because as a media member and covering their games, I get an email. And I was so happy I get to come on the air and actually ask Crowder, because it is a vote of confidence, or we're just doing this to hold people at bay because we have the toughest finishing schedule of anybody in college football, and it's going to get worse. And he may not be our coach. I don't know, Channing. I listen. I think they've made huge strides since the bye week.
Yeah.
But I always get concerned for one's job when there's votes of confidence sent out, voiced, or emailed.
I would say, Gino, there's no other coach today that had emails and media blast about they're going to be here next year. And that's what I was saying earlier. I've heard a different story from a lot of people I've talked to that donate a lot of money to Florida that they're not happy with this. What is it? Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, like it's about to get way worse, but now come out and saying, oh no, Billy's fine. Don't worry about it. I think that's a little, what's a flash paper of no, we're good to go. Yeah. Well, wait till the end of the season when they have that wrap-up meeting with all those Bull Gators. And I just want to make sure the message is the same in January as it is now.
Well, I would probably venture to say that the message has been heard by the athletic director's office, maybe not from you personally, but from some of those members, Bull Gators and big donors that have already voiced their opinion and are continue to voice. So maybe he's basically sending out that email to say, stop calling, we'll reevaluate at the end of the year.
Sounds, I don't know if I've paid.
That was new phone, who this?
I don't know if I've paid total attention. Sounds like the Gators are having a terrible season. Is that correct, Channing?
You don't know who it is?
The Gators having a bad season?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got a new cell phone. Who is this?
Seems like things have gone south for the Gators since that game at the begingoing of the season.
Well, Hoch, their defense has played a lot better since the bye week. I mean, listen, I'm going by positives. They're going to go face one of the best teams in the Southeastern Conference on the road. Their defense has gotten a lot better, but let's be honest, it was 118th in the country. Now it's 81st. And we all know that being 81st in the country in anything in college football is not a high ranking and usually doesn't lead itself to many wins. So they have gotten better. And the worst, you feel bad for, I don't know if I feel bad for Florida, but I hate the injuries. They've had a ton of injuries. Lagway got hurt last week.
Everybody has injuries.
Everybody has. Well, the one thing was, so Lagway hurts his hamstring so bad they have to give him an MRI. Now, I've pulled hamstrings in my day. I'm never fast enough to pull one enough to where they need to give me an MRI. But then after they get it, they're like, there's a road to recovery. And I'm like, man, if you pull a hamstring bad enough where they need to see an MRI of how bad it is, I'm going to venture to say he's not going out there in Austin and seeing any snaps. That would just be an educated guess by me.
Yeah, that's the same thing as Billy got the job next year. We're just putting out information to see what sticks.
Channing, you got to change CC on the video, on his little video, to Channing Crowder, #1 Florida Gator fan.
Yeah, he is amazingly convenient for him to adopt the Canes this year when his team is terrible.
I watched that first game. I said, ooh, yeah.
I may be on the wrong side here.
Let me find somebody else to cheer for this season.
Speaking of the Canes, Gino, so the The college football playoff rankings came out Tuesday night, and I think they were ranked 4 and slotted number 3, something along those lines. Does it feel right to you? Does that seem fair?
Well, listen, they control their own destiny, and that's what you want at this point in time in a college football season. You don't want to have a loss or maybe 2, and then you're relying on the committee to put you in that top 12. I think that if I'm Miami and I'm giving them advice, listen, it doesn't matter where you start in the first ranking, but you control your own destiny and just go out there and take care of business the rest of the season. And then you don't have to worry about where you're ranked or any of that stuff. You're going to get a first round bye, because the rest of the season, there's no other team in the top 12 that's even in the Atlantic Coast Conference. So I would say control your own destiny and don't worry about the noise.
And you watch a lot of football. You cover it. Or is Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Miami? Are they right there with those other 4 teams? Because I know they're dogs. They're top 4, Gino. I know they're dogs, but as you evaluate the games, like those teams are very similar. Could they all compete with each other?
This is what I would say, and what's different with the NIL age is where we've seen Alabama, where we've seen Georgia have incredible top line talent. They've also their backups turn out to be first or second or third round picks, and there was tremendous depth. Well, now you don't have that depth with the transfer portal. Guys are leaving. And there isn't that depth. We saw Georgia when they had some injuries. Their defense isn't even close to what they are when their starting front line is healthy. They're dominant. And I think we haven't seen we don't see the depth across the board with those teams. I mean, Isaiah Bond, the top receiver for Texas, oh, by the way, he was the best receiver for Alabama last year. I mean, stars are actually transferring between schools. So I think that it's going to come down. It's going to look a lot as the playoffs progress, like the NFL, who's healthy and what starters are healthy and as they progress. I think saw Ohio State against Penn State last week. Great team. Penn State was knocking on the door. Ohio State's defense was stout. First and goal from the 3, and Penn State didn't get a point. I mean, it was just perplexing to me when your tight end was also a quarterback and he's 6'5", 250. I mean, don't you just line them up under center and just say, all right, if you can stop quarterback wedge 4 times in a row with a 6'5", 260-pounder at quarterback, more power to you.
Good on you.
And they didn't do it. And then on 4th down, they throw to a guy that's quadruple covered. So I head scratch every week. But I would say that it's going to be exciting as heck because we've all seen it this season. Vandy's beaten, Alabama. I mean, heck, if Vandy wins out, they got an argument to say, look at our schedule and look at who we've beat to get in that top 12. So, but to answer long-winded answer your question, the depth isn't there across the board. So you're not going to see just 4 teams or a couple teams run away with it. I think everybody's got a shot in that top 12.
When you look at the Hurricanes, and they've got Georgia Tech this coming Saturday, when you look at the Hurricanes, can you see an NFL star in Cam Ward? And do you see NFL success for Xavier Restrepo?
I would agree to both. I think for a quarterback, it depends on what system he's in, what coaches are going to be coaching him, and what kind of personnel that he's in. If he's a top 5 pick or a first pick, the team that has a first pick is not very good, and there's probably not a lot of talent around him to make him continue to look like he looks right now. But he's got all the skills in the world. He's been in multiple systems, so his processing is good. Listen, you can doubt Restrepo. I don't know if people still do. The dude gets open, and he is tough. I mean, if you watch one of those games, man, if there's a tough catch, he just makes it. And I know this, quarterbacks love throwing to guys like that. You don't have to be the fastest in the world. I mean, Michael Irvin wasn't the fastest in the world, and he'd be like, you know what? I'll tell you where I'm running. I'm not faster than you, but I know I'm hungry. I'm going to outcompete you and get the ball. And that's what I think Restrepo does and why he's been so successful and why he'll continue to be successful.
Speaking of Cam Ward, Gino, I got to ask you because he's up for the Heisman. You won the Heisman. Is Cam Ward better than you at football?
Cam Ward's having the best statistical season any University of Miami quarterback has had. I mean, he's tied with Walsh for the season passing touchdown record through 9 games. He passed me a long time ago for touchdowns in a season. They're undefeated. He's had miraculous comebacks and great. He's been phenomenal. His stats are by far the best, and I think that the trophy is there. It's within his sights. And it's going to take some good performances here in November to secure it. But I think he's the leader in the clubhouse now, and he's got an opportunity to start reaching for it and putting his arms around it. But he's having the best season any Miami quarterback's ever had.
Do we put him on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks yet? Can we do that through 9 games? Because it's you and Vinny for sure, right? You were the two that won Heisman's, correct?
Yes, there's only 2 of us with the highs.
You and Vinny. Hold on, don't be humble. Don't be humble. Hold on.
No, I don't ever agree with what we do in today's environment by active players. It doesn't matter whatever. This guy's a Hall of Famer. You know what? He hasn't even finished his career. Let's let the cards play out first.
So you will not put him on the Mount Rushmore.
I'm not saying that. I'm not going to.
It sounds like that's what you're intimating.
That is not what I'm intimating. I'm going to say,
who are you taking off, Bernie?
Hawk, I put together a Mount Rushmore of Hurricanes quarterbacks today to ask.
All right,
Gino.
Let's hear this. Go ahead, Solana. Who's your Mount Rushmore of Canes quarterbacks?
Okay, and I put a lot of time into this, Gino. I want you to know.
Okay,
I really did. Okay.
I am, you know what, with bated breath, because I think there's going to be some names on there that might not be in
right. Maybe a Kenny Kelly is coming right at us like a laser beam.
Well, give me a chance here, Gino. I take this stuff serious.
Okay.
Ken Dorsey, Cam Ward,
okay,
Ja'Cory Harris,
all right,
and George.
See, why
Myra.
are you laughing at Ja'Cory Harris? Has got more yards. I think he left as the school's leading passer, if I'm not mistaken. Him and Stephen Morris. So statistically, yeah, okay, I see where you're coming from. And then Morris, and then George. Yeah, George was the first.
You didn't get, but his joke there, I heard the joke, Solana, and I appreciated it. He said George Myra. He was baiting you in there. He was baiting you in, but you stepped on it. But I appreciate it.
I apologize for ruining the with bated breath. I just, to me, thank you that Cam is here. that's what I would say. I told you in the spring. I'm like, he's special. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you.
Let me do something different here. Let's exclude Cam Ward. Let's take out current Hurricanes quarterbacks. Give me the Mount Rushmore of Miami Hurricanes quarterbacks from the past.
Current from the past?
No. From the past, no current.
Oh boy.
I'm taking out Cam Ward and Hufflepuffer.
I'm
Hufflebarger. What's his name?
Puffenbarger. Yeah, current. Let's go.
Right.
Emery, Reese,
just in case you were going to put him up there. If
Emery, Reese, Judd, and Cam. That's our 4.
But don't be humble, because you belong up there.
You know, I think that's tough. I mean, you got Myra, who was the first get to the NFL in the 60s. You got Bernie, won the first national championship. Oh, by the way, right before that was Jim Kelly. Then Vinny, Walsh, Erickson, myself, Dorsey. Listen, I don't know. I'm not getting in this conversation.
All right, let me ask you a different question then to rank something, and this is just number 1. Yesterday happened to be National Nachos Day. Where are the best nachos?
Oh,
and you know the answer to this. You know the answer, and you better get this right.
I would guess probably like someplace like Chili's or something like that that's not in business anymore. Or
first of all, there's Chili's all over
at
the
ballpark,
so
just dipping in the
it's
thing.
Flanagan's, Gino. It's Flanagan's.
Okay, all right.
Flanagan's in the Grove. How many plates of nachos at Flanny's in the Grove did you have during college?
I was more of a full rack of ribs, Joe's Meal Deal guy at the end of the night.
Fair.
maybe. So I didn't.
Individual meal.
Because me, I like nachos. I just don't like all the stuff all over my hands, and then I gotta go wash my hands to, No, I don't.
Weirdest
I'm
thing.
not
We
big
heard
on
this
that.
from Crowder yesterday. What is wrong with? I mean,
It's not
I gotta start doing
sanitary,
this show with the
it's
alpha
nasty.
males. These guys, they're walking
But I
around
don't-
with their
yeah, I
wet
don't- I don't
naps
like
and,
that
and
stuff
their
on my
hand
hands.
sanitizer.
Like that's why I said
you don't
nachos-
wash your hands after a
Yes,
rack of
but
ribs slathered in their sauce.
nachos at a ball game, because you get the cheese on the side and you can get one chip and you can dip a little bit and you don't get it on your hands. Yeah,
And
Beta.
you can keep the dip the chip crispy. You don't have all the sogginess and all that
100%.
foolishness.
No,
100
Gino.
because what you end up doing, Channing, is you go to the chips on the bottom to scrape all the stuff off the chips on top that are all soggy, and I'm with you.
The key is to get some sogginess in the chip.
It's
and
so
so
when
nachos
are so far down my ordering menu at Flanagan's.
I'm just shocked by this. I mean, that's
Low clap.
that's their thing, man.
No, it's not.
Might
It's
have-
ribs. It's ribs and dolphin
but
sandwiches.
No, it's
dolphin
it's
fingers?
ribs or the
Ribs,
rockin'
dolphin
rib rolls.
sandwiches. If you want to be healthy, you have the mahi, the grilled mahi, dolphin fingers. Come on, man.
But it's the ribs or the rockin' rib rolls or the nachos.
You
That's
know
what they're
what,
known, and the garlic rolls.
I'm trying to schedule my 5-year NFL physical, and I'm going to schedule one for you because I really think we need to take you and see what your blood work and lipids and triglycerides and all that stuff
Oh,
are.
I'm drinking a glass of lipids right now.
The syringe would melt.
Hey, the other thing,
They would actually use a baster. they could get all the butter out of me.
you talked about the grills, and I know you're down on Thanksgiving. I know you're down on the turkey at Thanksgiving.
Love
and
Thanksgiving.
I'm
just not doing turkey.
Okay. I'm going to tell you, at least when I do my turkey, I do it on my grill on a rotisserie.
Ooh.
And I make some herb butter and I jam it underneath the skin of the turkey.
Mhm.
And trust me, you will like my turkey at
But
Thanksgiving.
now I love an herb butter. So here's what I would ask you to do. Grab a couple pieces of bread out of the fridge, toast them up on that nice grill of yours, and just butter some herb butter on them. I'll have a couple pieces of toast. You guys knock yourself out with that turkey and stuffing. True or untrue? True or untrue?
Infuser.
Buttered toast
No,
is
I don't do the
one of life's
infuser,
great
Channing.
joys.
I'll make like 2 sticks of butter, all kinds of herbs, and then jam it underneath the skin all over the place. And then when I tie it on the spit, it usually keeps it in there, and then it just melts in there. So the herbs are underneath the skin, and the butter it gets nice and crusty on the skin. Yeah.
Oh, you jam the oranges and the garlic and the lemons inside.
Rosemary, lemons.
Yeah.
Thyme. Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Tarragon.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh goodness.
Man,
Hawk, you're not inviting Hawk.
I do that thing with the butter. I don't do any herbs though, just 2 sticks of butter, and I jam them anywhere. I don't care if it's Thanksgiving or not. I always have 2 sticks of butter on me at all times.
It's a Friday night. What is going on?
Whatever it takes, man. Gino Torretta, he's going to be on the call for Touchdown Radio, Florida, Texas, this Saturday. Gino is the ambassador for Evening's Delight, South Florida source for all your outdoor kitchen, grilling, and tailgate needs. They've got a full line of grills, smokers, and more. Evening's Delight, 2 locations, Pinecrest and Davie. And I said before, traditions are better with Traeger and Evening's Delight. So you head over there, you grab one during the holiday sale, add wood-fired flavor to your festivities. From November 16th through December 24th, you can get up to $400 off select Traeger grills. Also save on pellets, rubs, and more. Have a great broadcast on Saturday. Safe travels to Texas, and we will speak with you next week.
Appreciate it. I will tell the Florida Gator leadership, Channing, you said hello, and thanks for their email and vote of confidence for their head coach.
Reevaluate the situation, Gino. That's all I got to say.
He endorses the vote of confidence 100%.
Reevaluate the situation.
Tell him Crowder, T, and J are down with bringing Napier back for as many seasons as they want.
Just leave our options open.
See you, Gino.
See you guys.
Gino Torretta, the Heisman Trophy winner. He joins us on Thursdays.